Pratik Gandhi plays Jyotiba Phule in the film. The styling of Pratik has been based on the sketches that were available of Jyotiba Phule, along with the Phule Pagdi, which is a very exclusive way of tying the turban around his head, and we had an expert to do that. Vinay Pathak and Pratik Gandhi, they play father and son. Father is a very conservative. Jyotiba Phule, of course, questions every norm that has become some kind of a rule in society, and the debate between father and son reaches a point where emotions and tempers boil over, and the panchayat calls the two of them and humiliates them in public, and Pratik decides to leave his father's house and go away so that he does not want his father to be humiliated further. The clash between the two of them is idealistic, it's emotional, and finally, the conclusion, the way the two come together, an emotional scene where finally the father relents. Patralekha. Now, I was looking for an actor who wasn't seen too often on screen, at the same time an accomplished actor, and thirdly also matching the looks of the classic Savitribai Phule in the sketches that we have seen. And Patralekha ticked all three boxes very well. And incidentally, she was signed on before Pratik. Went in depth into the script, into the character, worked hard on the pitching of the character, and there was an internalization which I could notice on location. I don't think anyone else could have portrayed or even looked as well as she did as Savitribai Phule. In this sequence, Pratik Gandhi playing Jyotiba Phule is writing the famous book, the legendary book that he wrote, Ghulamgiri, or Slavery as it's called in English. And it became a Bible for the revolution in those days. Writes this book on so many locations, whether it is outdoors or whether it is sitting out on the steps of his Haveli or whether it is in his nicely improvised study. He keeps writing relentlessly, and Ghulamgiri became, an icon and a book that is often identified with Jyotiba Phule. So I was very clear that I did not want to shoot on any sets, any artificial locations in this film. So what we did was we explored the entire belt of Maharashtra from Pune to Bhor to Satara to Kolhapur. And this was one of the vadas that we found in Bhor. And it was uncannily, it had an embossed brick which said 1838. So we knew we were in that era. The authenticity of the location was amazing, and all we did was prop it up and get it ship shape into that time. Pratik used to indulge in, his music forays, and we had the tabla there, and he suddenly sort of, decided to break free, give himself a break, and actually played the tabla. He plays it very well, and that was a good kind of escape for him from the serious scenes that we were shooting that day. This sequence is so poetic, it's so serene and so philosophical. It's him addressing God before he passed away. It's the sunset, and he looks up at the skies and talks to the gods, the questions that he always wanted to raise in society. He knows his end is near, and he starts this dialogue with God. I would term the Phules as the first couple of India, the first social revolutionaries of India, and a futuristic couple, because everything that they saw and they did with such, they were the bravehearts of the 19th century, and they had visualized the future of India. They knew that education for the girl child, the eradication of caste discrimination, gender discrimination, widow remarriages, and the stopping of widows being their heads being shaved. All this was absolutely necessary for the emancipation of society and humankind. And it is amazing that in during an era when they had to fight their battles on two fronts. One is the British, the freedom front, and on the other side, the ills that plagued our own society. They managed to see the future of India in these reforms, and that is why I do not consider this a historic film at all. I consider this a film of the present and of the future, because the perspective that my film Phule gives to these two characters is a current perspective, is a relevant perspective, and that is where the interpretation of this couple is so relevant.